to the video today. In this video, we are going to read Diary of a Wimpy Wrecking Ball. This is part 2 of the video. So, part 1 link is in the description. So, let's get started with reading. Last time we finished at 50 page. So, now we are going to start at 51 page. So, let's get started. Saturday. Today was Aunt Reba's funeral. Mom said we had to go because Aunt Reba didn't have much family, so we need to show our support. She told us we all had to wear black to the funeral, but when Roderick came out wearing the outfit he wore to his last rock concert, Mom made him go back inside and change. That's why we were 15 minutes late to the funeral. When we got there, the service had already started, so we just stood at the back behind a crowd of people. I would never been in a cemetery for that long before, so I felt little nervous. That's because Roderick always says that when you go past a cemetery, you need to hold your breath, so don't swallow a ghost. Well, I held my breath for as long as I could today, but there was no way I could make it through the whole funnel. Gasp! I just hope I didn't swallow any ghost because middle school is hard enough without being possessed by a person from 16th. Some of the tombstones had quotes on them, and that got me thinking about what I want written on mine. Hopefully, I'll say something really wise right before I die. And they'll carve my last words onto my tombstone. But I probably say something real dumb and they'll use it anyway. Hifley, does this have chickpeas in it? Because I am allergic to chickpeas. I've got a lot of questions about what happens to you after you die. For one thing, I want to know how you look in the afterlife. If everyone's appearance is frozen when they pass away, then heaven probably looks like leisure towers. I wanna know what you wear up in heaven too. If you're stuck in clothes you had on just before you died, I seriously hope nothing bad happens to me on Halloween. I'll tell you this, I wanna stay alive for as long as I can, but I didn't want to live forever. Whenever you see a movie about someone who becomes immoral, there is always a catch that totally ruins. The good news is you're gonna live forever. The bad news is you are a vampire and you have to drink people's blood to survive. Plus, you can't go outside in daylight. Great! Dang it! When a person is immortal, they always have to hide it from everyone else. I guess if people know you can die, they treat you like a monster or something. But if I was immortal, I wouldn't even try to hide it. In fact, I would mention it every chance I could. Make sure you fasten your seatbelt. Yeah, well, I can't die, so whatever. In school, we learned about world religions and how everyone believes in different things. In some places, they believe that when you die, you get reborn as someone else. Some people think you can't come back as a totally different creature like an animal or an insect or something. And what you come back as depends on whether you were good or bad. Well, that actually makes me a little worried because I have done a few things in my life that I'm not proud of. And if plants have feelings, then I could really be in trouble. Scream, rip. Hopefully, there's still nothing enough time for me to make things right. Because I seriously don't want to come back as a dung beetle in my next life. Mom told us Aunt Reba have a lots of family, but she did have lots of friends which could explain why there were so many people at her funeral. When I would better start adding some new friends myself, or I'm gonna draw much of crowd when it's all over me. When the service ended today, everyone started to leave. I thought I would recognize some people because I know that Aunt Rabba had a couple of sisters who are still alive. But I didn't see anybody I knew, which was weird. Mom seemed confused too. When the crowd thinned out, we made our way to the grave, and that's when we figured out we would have been at the wrong funeral. By the time we got to the Aunt Rabba's grave, the ceremony was over and everyone was already gone. All I can say is, I hope Aunt Rabba was looking down from heaven and having a good laugh about missing her funeral. But from what I remember about her, she wasn't really the type of person to have a good laugh about anything. Monday. During the dinner tonight, Mom said we need to have a family meeting, and family meetings are never much fun. Mom told us Aunt Rabba had lived a really humble life in a small apartment, but that she had been careful with her money and made some really smart investments. Well, I had no idea why Mom was telling us all this. But then came the big news. Mom said that Aunt Rabba left all our money to the family, and it took me a second to realize that included US. Apparently, when you find out this sort of news, you're supposed to be act happy, but because I guess disrespectful to the person who passed away. But nobody told us kids that. After mom got us to settle down, she said we need to have a serious discussion about what to do with the inheritance. I already knew exactly how I was gonna spend my share. Thanks, Reba. That's the ship's name. Roderick said he wanted to use his share to buy a tour bus for his band, and Dad wanted to buy some really expensive figurines for his Civil War diorama. Manny wants to use his money to fill his bedroom with chocolate pudding for some reason. But Mom shut down everyone's idea. She said we were making discussion as a family and whatever we did with the money was gonna have to benefit everybody. Then she told her idea, which was to use the money for home improvements. Everyone else thought that was a really boring idea, but not me. I ran upstairs to get the blueprints of my dream house and I went through them floor by floor. But mom said the money and trouble left us wouldn't even pay for the ice skating rink I designed for the second level. So I tried out some of my less expensive ideas like couch with built-in toilet. Mom wasn't crazy about those ideas either. She said she was thinking about using money for an extension. Well, that sounds like a great idea to me. I figured if we added two more stories to the top of our house, then everyone in the family could have their own floor. Roderick wanted to make the extension into a recording studio, and Dad wanted to make it all glass so he could show off his silver diorama to the neighbors. Manny had his own idea for what to put in the extension, but I think it was mostly just the chocolate pudding thing again. Of course, Mom didn't like any of her ideas and she said she had totally a different plan what the extension should be. Mom, she would always wanted a bigger kitchen and she was really excited to use the money for that. None of us really liked that idea, though, and we kept brainstorming other things we could put in there. But mom was mad. She said she was the only person in family who would ever send Antraba a thank you note for anything, so she was gonna decide how to use the money. And for some reason, that was the end of the conversation. See, this is why your relative's money is bad idea. All it does is make everyone miserable. I am not planning on leaving any money behind when I go. I'm gonna spend every last cent so there is nothing left for people to fly over. I can guarantee that me and my brothers are gonna fight out over whatever inheritance we get from mom and dad. And I'm already worried that I'm not gonna get my fair share. That's because when I first learned to write my name, Roderick made me sign a bunch of pieces of paper. And who knows what kind of things I would agree to back then. I promised to give Roderick all my money, Greg. I proud clean Roderick house, Greg. All the things. Roderick always says he is the firstborn, so he will get our parents' house and all their money too. But I don't think it works like that anymore. If he is right, then I am glad I am the second in line and not third because many got no chance of getting any money with two older brothers in front of him. And that's the reason I always can watch my back around that kid. May. Saturday. The great thing about this extension is that it gives me something to brag about to the Rolly on our way to school. I told him that our new kitchen is gonna have granite countertops and a tile floor and a brand new appliances. But instead of getting jealous, he acted happy for me. So I don't understand what kind of game he's playing. Rolly's house is newer than ours. It's a lot bigger too. And that's not right because Rolly is an only child. He doesn't even need all that room. Back when Rolly first moved in, I told him we could swap houses to make things more fair. Rolly thought that was a good idea, but unfortunately his dad didn't. I think what got me and Mr. Jefferson off on the wrong foot. Anyway, I'm actually getting kind of excited for construction to begin because it's gonna be nice having some more space. But I guess they have got to do a bunch of paperwork before they get started for real. Dad, Dad wants to fix a few things around the house before construction begins anyway, and he wants me and Roderick to help it. Dad says once me and Roderick get our own places, we are gonna have to know how to do repair ourselves. I keep telling Dad that by the time we are his age, we don't have to fix things ourselves. But he never seems to want to hear it. Whenever Dad tries to teach me something new, I always have trouble following him. A couple of weeks ago, he showed me and Roderick how to change a tire, and I guess I lost interest when he started talking about. So now we are going to stop reading. So bye guys, and this reading book session will be divided like this reading diary of a Wimpy kid will be divided into 5 parts or sometimes 6 because I'm not making the video too big. So I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.